Hey guys, I'm Wisa of Content Critters, here to condense the latest RPG news so you don't have to. We're going to start with Cyberpunk 2077 ratings in North America and Australia, followed by more details on Gamedec's Deduction mechanic, and we'll end with Amazon's New World PvP or War update. So let's begin. Just yesterday, Cyberpunk 2077 on Twitter confirmed that it will be present in IGN's Summer of Gaming event this June 11. Here's hoping that we actually see new gameplay footage. In other news, Cyberpunk 2077 receives an M rating in North America and R18+ rating from the Australian Classification Board, which is notorious when it comes to censoring games. In the past, Saints Row 4 and The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings had been refused classification, which meant that its respective developers had to resubmit both games with re-edited parts for release. What happened with The Witcher 2 was CD Projekt Red had to censor some parts to reach an MA15+ rating. This is of course controversial since fans who buy games in Australia won't have the same experiences as those who purchase it elsewhere. Thankfully, this is not the case with Cyberpunk 2077, which is classified as high impact. Compared to The Witcher 3, which also received an R18+ rating in Australia, themes, violence, and additional adult content are restricted to 18+ as expected. I'm however quite surprised that it didn't get high impact for the other categories.
No. Yes. No.
CD Projekt Red's Kuba Kuterzuba says, receiving an age rating in Australia was an important milestone on our way to releasing the game in September. We're creating a mature title for a mature audience, so we were expecting R18+. We haven't had to alter the game in any way, and Australian gamers are set to enjoy the full Cyberpunk 2077 experience. Additionally, over the past few weeks, the Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account has been very active when it comes to giving new details on the game's multiple gangs, with the latest being Militech, manufacturers of weapons and military vehicles, and Tiger Claws of Japanese origin. It made me wonder if we can join any of them. Unfortunately, this thought was shot down with a reply from the Valentino's post when the team confirmed that V cannot join any gang. June 11 is more than a month away, and so while waiting, what game are you currently playing? Does it also involve a cyberpunk theme? Let me know down below. Moving on to the next news piece, we have an update on one of Gamedec's mechanics. As a recap, this game is an isometric, non-combat cyberpunk RPG, which finished and surpassed the goals in its Kickstarter campaign last week. It relies on dialogue to decipher clues and solve murders both in the real and virtual worlds. I previously talked about this deduction mechanic in another Gamedec video as seen in the card above. The developer, Anchar Studios, sheds more light into this specific mechanic. Deduction helps you piece together evidence, but what's interesting is how the system ambiguously phrases these deductions for you to figure out what they actually mean. For example, if someone tells you they were unconscious during the murder, the deduction screen will keep it as they say they were unconscious and not they were unconscious. The most critical parts are the actual deductions, where you unlock multiple choice networks, and the final action, which comes thereafter. Will you execute the death of an NPC who may or may not be a suspect? Regardless of your choice, the developers confirm that most of the time, the game will allow you to roll with it. In addition, Gamedec doesn't follow the pattern of gathering enough evidence to have the correct answer, which is the only way to progress the story. Immediately showing the consequences of your choices is also something the team wishes to avoid, as this is not fun nor realistic. I like that the choices do not have a straightforward effect, and I can only imagine the magnitude of deductions you can come up with.
Get ready, everybody. He's about to do something stupid.
So hopefully we also get a lot of different endings. What update from Anchar Studios would you like to hear about next? Departing from the cyberpunk RPG genre, we have Amazon's New World Dev Diary, War and Invasion focused on PvP and PvE respectively. These updates come weeks after the news that the MMO's release date will be pushed from May to August 25. In this video, we will focus on PvP, so the PvE or invasion link is in the description below. The objective is to overthrow your opponent's territory by starting a war and capturing rally points. This 50 versus 50 war, which initially starts with completing tasks to put a territory into a conflict state, is expected to last for an hour. If the company is smaller than 50 members, they can choose from there or from another faction. There is a war schedule provided by the defending company to ensure proper coordination between teams. You and your teams will then be teleported to the battlefield once the war begins. The attacking company must siege the flag inside the gates and stay there for a certain amount of time to win. This is accomplished by getting 3 rally points in front of the fort before you can begin destroying fort gates. At this point, the defending company cannot retake said rally points, making their chances of winning slim. These points are used as respawn areas or armory access. Attackers build siege platforms while defenders make use of siege weapons. Its effectiveness depends on the fort's upgrades before the war. Defenders have to make sure that enough siege weapons are distributed since there are multiple entry points in the fort. I do have 2 concerns with this update, however. First is the destruction of fort gates in the war and not anything else. This is a bit disappointing since we are in a siege, which means that we can and should destroy almost everything owned by the defenders. Second is the time it takes to complete one match. Without having to destroy much in your path, I think this can be cut down to 30 minutes maximum. The gates and players might end up becoming weapon sponges just to satisfy the 1 hour mark, making the actual war bland. Perhaps it's good that they move the release date, as it seems that the game isn't ready at the moment. So I also signed up for the New World Beta to directly experience what will be changed in the game. Will you also sign up? So that's it for today, guys. Let me know your answers to my questions in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications when new videos come out. Take care, and I'll see you again this week. Here to condense the latest RPG blah blah blah.